You guys, I'm so sorry. I'm going to try one more time. If this doesn't work, I'm going to just get off. Listen to me now. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. My name is Samantha. Hit the like button, drop in comments. They keep buffering me and kicking me off. They don't want this information out. We are going to have a Zoom for newsletter recipients of Starkey Farmstead's newsletter. We are organizing in a Zoom Saturday evening. Folks, if you haven't gotten the newsletter, when we finish this live, go look at the top of comments. You send your $30 and your email in the memo of the app you use, and I will send you the newsletter, and then you will receive the Zoom link. We're going to get together. I signed up for the No Kings webinar on how they're organizing for this upcoming riots across America on June 14th, and I'm going to show it to you.
Use the Zoom app on your computer or your smartphone. That way you'll be able to see all of the beautiful slides that we've prepared, so make sure that you're joining that way. With that, we can move to the next slide. So I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page by walking us through tonight's agenda. We started with a little bit of welcome and grounding, and then we're going to transition into talking about the National Day of Action to come. After that, we'll review some best practices, and then we'll go through the meat of our Know Your Rights training. Finally, we'll end with some take action options, so ways that we can take action and get engaged, and then we'll launch into some Q&A. So that's what to expect with tonight's training. And with that, I'll pass it on to Maribel, who will introduce herself and share a little bit more about Saturday's events.
Thank you so much, Atia. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm seeing we have 16,000 participants at the moment. Thank you for being here.
16,000 people.
Thank you for being there for each other. My name is Maribel Hernandez Rivera, and I am the National Director of Immigrant Community Strategies at the ACLU. I use she, her pronouns. Now, let's just start by grounding ourselves as to why we are here. Well, we are here because we have seen this administration go after immigrants. We have seen this administration use force to silence dissent, but we are rising in peace to defend our communities. Now, as the Trump administration escalates its crackdown in Los Angeles, deploying thousands of National Guard troops and Marines over the governor's objection, people across the country are coming together to take peaceful action. We are standing up, all of us, for our right to protest, for immigrant communities, and for David Huerta. Now, the administration says that this deployment is about safety. We know that it's not. We know that Los Angeles officials and even the LAPD confirmed that the protests were peaceful before the troops arrived. We know that this is about power. We know that this is about fear. We know that this is about silencing dissent, especially in Black, brown, and immigrant communities. At the ACLU, we're calling it what it is. It is an unnecessary, dangerous abuse of power. We know that troops are not trained to make police to police protest. We know that. We know that the presence of troops increases risks and undermines our right to speak, our right to assembly, and our right to be heard. Now, let's be clear. This is the first time since 1965 that a president has forced troops into a state without consent. This sets a dangerous precedent. But let's also be clear. Before he's able to control everything, he needs to get past all of us. And that is why this Saturday, June 14, millions of us will be taking to the streets for a national day of peaceful action to protest against President Trump's abuse of power. Now, we know that there are over 1,800 cities that will join this mass mobilization. And this is a direct challenge to authoritarianism.
1,800 cities.
Our liberties and our rights. We need to let them know we are not afraid. We are organized, and we are not alone. Our movement is grounded in nonviolence and dignity and the defense of democracy.
Okay, let me just stop it here real quick and tell you guys what she's trying to say. She just said that on this Zoom recording that you're listening to, I promise no other content creator has brought to you the No Kings webinar but Sam. I'm always first, but I'm so much smaller. So people don't see it. And then the bigger YouTubes pick it up and they push it out in the algorithm. So please immediately begin to send this to people you know. Tell them to get on this Zoom. Hit that like button. Listen to me. Over 16,000 people were on this YouTube, on this Zoom meeting. 16,000. 1,800 cities across America this Saturday will have protests, riots, and insurrections. Folks, listen to me. You need to be on the Zoom with Leslie and I. In fact, you know what? I'm moving it to Friday night. We have to do it Friday night because the protests are Saturday, and I want to get all of you guys safe on Friday the 13th. Oh my God, Friday the 13th. So if you're not part of the newsletter, I'm going to drop in the comments of this live when it's over how to sign up for the newsletter. You need to get on our newsletter so we can help you prepare and be safe. Okay, so anybody wanting to join these people's Zooms, they've got 3 more before the riots and the insurrection on June 14th. You go to nokings.org and you sign up. That's what I did. And she's telling you right now, let me tell you guys something. These are not organic. I got cut off twice, but these are not organic movements. There's not this many people in America that are citizens that hate this country. All right? There's not that many people. However, there are 30 million undocumented illegal aliens in the last 4 years, not to mention 20% of the population in America right now are foreign born. If that 20% plus the 20% of the population that's Antifa and for left hit the streets, folks, that's 40% of the people in this country rioting at one time. Come the hell on. What is that? That is an insurrection.
So we're taking action this weekend. We're showing up in the streets. We are sending messages to our legislators. What else can we do? One of the big ways that you can get involved is turn your passion into action and get some more knowledge and take more of our virtual trainings. We have an upcoming virtual training called our Power and Purpose Popular Education Series, and our kickoff session is happening July 8th. We know that we're in the fight of a lifetime to defend our rights, our freedoms, and our democracies. And this training is a free, high-impact virtual training series that's designed to ignite your activism and give you all of the tools that you need to mobilize and lead in this critical moment. Our communities need bold action, and we need you in the fight. So make sure that you scan this QR code and sign up to be part of our July 8th training. We would love to see you there. We would love for you to keep building.
And the important part is certain.
All right. And then they're going to tell you your rights, that everybody has due process in America. That's not true. That's a bastardization of the Constitution.
Because the worst could happen or things could be fine, but we just always want to be prepared. Make sure that you're planning and sharing with your emergency contact in advance. Let them know what kind of support you might need, and make sure that if you have any caregiving responsibilities, you're giving your emergency contact a key to your home, the information that they need, and preparing them to help care for your loved ones in case the worst happens. Make sure that you're also identifying your event organizers and safety leads. The first step to a good safety plan is knowing who your points of contact are, whether it's your friends, your emergency folks, or the people who are planning the event you're attending. If possible, make sure you find out who's organizing the action and make sure you know whether they have resources available on site, online, or in person. Knowing who's in charge of safety at the event that you're attending will really help you know where to go when you need support. And finally, it's a really good practice to use a permanent marker and write important numbers on your body. Phones can get lost, broken, or confiscated, and sometimes you may not be bringing a phone to a protest at all. So make sure that you write down important numbers like your emergency contact, any legal resources you may want to reach out to, and whoever else you might want to be able to reach in case things escalate. We can move to the next slide. Great. So let's talk a little bit about.
They tell you to bring your photo ID. Hold on. Let me.
And so and of course, file a complaint and let the ACLU know by contacting one of our affiliates in your state. And you should know we have affiliates in every single state. Next slide, please. Now, I want you to know, and this I also saw this question in the Q&A, there might be counter-protesters on Saturday, and you should know that they too have rights, right? When we're talking about the right of free speech, protesters and counter-protesters have free speech rights. So we should keep that in mind. And so as we keep that in mind, we should also think about how can we de-escalate a situation? And so here are some techniques. If somebody is trying to really disturb the demonstration, one of the things that you can do, and I've seen it work, is you can ignore them. You can step away. You can redirect the focus through song and chant, because often
Isn't that a shame? She had to tell them that counter-protesters have a right to be there too.
Targeted.
Let me see. It just seems to be. Now, notice this was funded by ACLU.
Plan. Take a few minutes that you turn off all biometric unlock functions. So fingerprints, facial recognition technology, you want to turn that off and use a strong passcode of at least 6 digits. Number 2, you want to use encrypted messaging apps like Signal if you need to communicate. Apps like Signal have end-to-end encryption, meaning that the communication between you and your loved ones is something that only you have between each other. So make sure that you're using an encrypted app. And especially important is to make sure that you're cautious and considerate of others when you're taking photos or videos at a protest. You don't want to share any videos or photos that can clearly show faces, tattoos, or any other identifiers that your fellow protest goers may have. If there are faces in a photo that you take, make sure that you blur faces before you post. It's just a way to be respectful and cautious of the safety of everyone around you. And finally, when you put your phone on airplane mode, make sure you're also backing your phone up beforehand. This is just in case it's lost, damaged, or confiscated. So we know the risks are real, but with careful planning, we can show up powerfully and we can protect our community and be aware of the risks that we're taking. With that, I'll turn it over to Maribel and she'll move us through the Know Your Rights training part.
All right. So she's telling you, only use encrypted messages between you and your buddy, you and your family. Turn off your location. Make sure you're not using biometrics like fingerprints or facial scans on your phone. Like, don't leave evidence, right? And if you take a picture of fellow looters, fellow thieves, fellow rioters, please blur their face out before you post it to the internet. And by all means, be respectful to your fellow communist. Come the hell on, people. Y'all killing me with this. I mean, like, are you, is it just me? Is it just me? I know it's not. I know it's not. I know you guys are feeling the same way I am right now. That's how organized these people are. And if they don't buffer me off again, I'm going to prove it to you. Right now, Walmart is selling large, and have been since the 2020 riots, fireworks at every Walmart you go to. You can just walk down the aisle and get you what could be deadly if shot in the face of a police officer. By the way, if you'd like to support us and get the newsletter, look at the top of comments at the end of this live. You can get the newsletter. We're going to be Zooming Friday before these millions of undocumented illegal aliens hit the street on Saturday. We're going to be talking to you about staying safe. We don't need counter protesters out there, folks. Your counter protesting is your voting and your military. Keep your little behinds at home. These are generational haters of America, from the Chicano people all the way through. These people have been hating on America for generations.
Presentation.
Thank you, Atia. Now, before I begin telling us what our rights are, I want to be clear that I understand that we might know our rights. Law enforcement might know our rights, and they might still be violated. We have seen that happens. So we're clear-eyed that happens. And yet, at the same time, what we see is that us knowing our rights makes a big difference. We have seen, for example, this administration complain that people know their rights all too well, and that is causing them to slow down in their cruel policies. So let's go to the next slide, please. First, what are our protest rights? Let's be clear. The right to protest is a fundamental right that is guaranteed by the Constitution and the First Amendment to the Constitution. And let me also be very clear that the Constitution protects people who are in the United States, whether we are documented or undocumented.
You heard what she just said? Whether we are documented or undocumented, you have a right, while you in the United States, to burn and to loot and to shoot and to rape. Welcome to America. I'm not sure. I've had to redo this live 3 times, so I'm not sure if you're the group that I spoke to about the Chicano movement. Is this group? Where in the 1960s, the Chicano Mexican Americans started pushing this radicalized militant dissent through public schools and universities because they felt discriminated against. And in 1969, the Chicano groups merged to form the La Causa. And the gentleman that was passing out the face mask in Los Angeles from Walmart is actually a militant of that group. And they're embedded throughout the American Southwest like crazy. The ideological basis for the movement varied between its subgroups. However, some extremists supported a socialist revolution action against white Americans. Did you know that there are people here that are brown that hate you? And then others had a more nationalistic focus. You know, the La Raza, the let's take back America and make it little Mexico. Can you imagine living under the rule of the people that are rioting right now? This is a regime change. This is an attempt to take Trump out of office and bring a socialist, communistic whole across the United States. Can you imagine living under these people? Can you imagine what your life would be like? By the way, we were demonetized. If you'd like to get the newsletter, it's going to be in the top of comments how you can get it. We will be Zooming Friday evening. Zooming, just like these people, just like the No Kings movement, Starkey Farmstead conservatives are going to be Zooming together. So here's my thing. If you want to be part of that, it's $30 once every 6 months. We got to start organizing too, folks. We have to start organizing too. Then you had the young boy that started doxing he was doxing all of the ICE agents.
Legally. We want them gone. We won the election. Our will needs to be carried out. You guys are protecting, for every one person who hasn't committed an additional crime who broke into our country but they're getting deported, you've got people who've committed 20 crimes and they never get held accountable because of your sanctuary states, your sanctuary cities, and your stupid policies. You lost. The will of the people's being enacted. You're calling these people Nazis and fascists and Gestapo, and now you're purposely trying to get them murdered. And so you got doxxed. Yeah. In this scheme of things over here, I think trying to get people murdered is worse. So anyway, so live by the doxing sword, die by the doxing sword, I guess, right? Politically, metaphorically speaking, of course. I've recently discovered several posts containing my family's name and home addresses. This is unacceptable and violates our privacy. Well, you thought it was fine to do it to these people. Yeah, but they're not. See, it's always, well, they're not Israelis. They're dudes doing what we voted for them to do. Like, they're enforcing the goddamn border.
I mean, I don't like the language, but I agree with Salty. This young man, he goes by LA Scanner. He literally posted on X, Holiday Inn in Torrance at 19800 South Vermont, Torrance, California, confirmed. ICE agents are staying at this hotel. Yeah, Rusty, I see it. And then it says, I recently discovered several posts containing my family's name and home address. So the doxer got doxed. We can fight back. We can research these people out. We can show you what they're telling each other like I just did. We can record them and show it to the world. These are not innocent people. Let me show you. I hope it doesn't kick me off, but if it does, please come back. Just let me put it this way. Be on the Zoom Friday night. Get on our newsletter. Row in my boat.
A lot of people ask, who's leading? How are they coordinating? Okay, so here's an important lesson that people need to know about the left. The left is a completely decentralized structure. What that means is there is no leader on the left. When you're on the right, you think about things in terms of hierarchy. There's a boss. There are people under the boss. There are people under those people, et cetera, et cetera. That's the way that most people think in what the left would call the capitalist societies in a hierarchical structure. Well, if you understand the left, then you would understand the left abhors individualism. They don't believe in individualism. They don't believe in hierarchy. They believe individualism creates hierarchy. Hierarchy creates oppression. When I say individualism, what I really mean, of course, is capitalism. The left's ultimate goal is always and forever to abolish capitalism because they believe capitalism creates all hierarchies. Hierarchies create all oppression. Oppression creates all human suffering. And therefore, if we can just abolish the hierarchies and the capitalism, we will abolish the oppression and all human suffering. They really do believe this. It's critical to understand this.
They really do believe that. Now, again, let me ask you a question. Can you imagine living under these people ruling and controlling you?
That's why they're changing tactics, because community defense works and our resistance has slowed them down before. And if they're escalating their tactics, then so are we. When they show up, we gotta show up even stronger.
Can you imagine?
That's why they're.
And I'm so close. She looks like a pig, a big pig. Can you imagine that woman controlling your life? Can you imagine these people that are rioting like this, controlling your country? That's Chicago yesterday. Mm-hmm. Piggy, piggy, KKK. They sound like school children bullies. These are the people that want to demolish capitalism and destroy America. These are the same people that do not believe in borders at all for any purpose. I bet they would believe in borders if I tried to walk up and walk in their house uninvited. Mm-hmm. Or in their, multiculturalism centers for only brown and black people. They'd have a problem with Samantha then, wouldn't they? Because I'm a little pale for their group. Let me explain something to you. Name me one country in the entirety of the world, a civilized, industrialized country in this world that is solely run by black or brown people. Name it. Right now in the comments. Name me one. Name me one country that you would consider civilized, industrialized. One country in the entirety of the world that has a majority of brown or black people in that country. Name it. Zero. There is none. Zero. 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 Thank you. Zero. I love you guys. Thank you for being honest. Nada. I got nothing. Portugal, ... maybe. Somebody else says USA. You know what makes America different? Is that we allow people to come here, integrate, learn about our Constitution, love our country, and be equal with everybody, regardless of skin color. The problem with all these illegal immigrants, these undocumented immigrants that don't even think it's worth becoming a citizen, hitting the street screaming they have the same rights as you, that you are no better than them. Those people hate you. And if you're white or black, let me explain to you what will happen if these people are in power. Did you guys hear about Mr. Beast? Okay, so Mr. Beast is the number one YouTuber in the entire world. He has more subscribers than anybody. A year ago, Mr. Beast went to Africa and he put in like 100 deep water wells, electric pumps that cost thousands of dollars. He even created schools, trained people on how to change parts, how to rebuild the motors, everything you could possibly think to keep these deep water wells running for these third world South African black people. It's been a year. Guess what happened? Not one of those wells worked today. Every single one of those wells stopped working. They stopped working. Nobody maintained them. There is not a word that is equal to maintenance in South Africa. Let that sink in. India, same thing. When the Europeans were there, they built things. High-speed railways, bus routes, concrete, asphalt roads, all that's disintegrating because these people don't have it in their minds. Their culture does not allow for forward thinking. Their forward thinking is putting you in a burqa with one eye visible on your knees praying 5 days, 5 times a day to a demon. That's their forward thinking. America's closed. We don't need any more immigrants. We don't need any more work visas from India. No more registered nurses from the Philippines. No more Muslim shopkeepers. We don't need it. My daughter everybody knows this. My daughter lives in the state of Washington going to school. Okay. Spoke to her last night and she said, Mom, they make it so easy to be illegal here. There's food stamps, there's healthcare, there's free schooling, free housing if you're illegal. My daughter had to drop out of school mid-semester to go get a full-time job to afford to go to school. You know what I did? I sent her a couple $100. Why? Because where she's living is a dorm room with no air conditioner. I said, here, baby, go get what you need. But if you want to stay, I got your back. Mama's got you. But this is what's happening to American children across the United States, in states like Washington. Oh, we don't need borders. Borders are banned. They're banned. White people are racist. Really? We stopped the transatlantic slave trade. That had been going on for 1,000 years. We stopped it. White people. We've built the longest lasting civilizations. And every time an immigrant moves up through the ranks in politics, they turn into identity politics. White people and Black people hear me. Hear me very clearly when I say this. The day that America realizes that everybody has the same opportunities, that you don't need special scholarships due to the color of your skin, that you don't need extra programs to feed all your baby daddies and bad little babies. When we realize that, America will get back on her feet. We really will. By the way, we were demonetized. If you'd like to get the newsletter in Zoom with Leslie and I this Friday before the No Kings protest on Saturday, I'm going to drop it in comments at the end of the live, how you can sign up for the newsletter and get the Zoom link. All of you that are sitting here listening to me, you should already be getting the newsletter. It's $30 once every 6 months. I mean, like, come on now, peoples. I love y'all, but come on now. Now, here's the biggest thing I want you guys to realize why I don't want you on the streets in counter protesting. Let me explain it to you. Right now on Reddit, if you don't know what Reddit is, that's what the next generation uses to communicate. There are Reddit posts telling these undocumented people and leftist lunatics to wear MAGA gear, MAGA hats, and carry American flags to confuse news media, the general populace, and the military on who's bad and who's good. It says, so riddle me this. What's their actual outcome and goal? There's no bloody way they will ever be welcome, talk about undocumented people, to stay here after this. Those that are organizing this have sealed their fate. You are destroying our country while flying your country's flags. What is your outcome? The outcome is revolution. The outcome is insurrection. The outcome is the overthrowing of the American Republic. The riot founders and funders have supplied all of the rioters with American flags. Now, not to wave, but to burn. Can you imagine the laughter from other countries? We're supposed to be the mightiest country in the world, and we allowed this. You think we could do this if we all walked into Mexico? Check Reddit. They're telling them to bring American flags to blend in, wear masks, and cover any identifiable tattoos or markings. Remember, I showed you the No Kings webinar on Zoom. Please, if you record any of your comrades in arms, make sure that you blur their faces and cover their tattoos or any identifiable marks. We surely wouldn't want our comrades in jail, would we? Here it is right now. Conscious Culture 19 on Reddit said this: everyone wave American flags. Let's see how Fox and MAGA try to spin their propaganda when federal agents, troops, and police start provoking and harassing protesters as the people wave American flags while standing their ground. Then Mutual Aid Los Angeles responded, absolutely. Like, we have purchased them and we're going to be handing them out on site at various protest locations in the coming days. If anyone's interested in helping organize, there's a link, and we will be supplying these on June 14th. Here's our Amazon gift wish list. We are Americans. We love our country. We believe in our Constitution, and we're saying no. Great. I've seen far too many, most people carrying the Mexican flag or some other flag, and we need to show them that we're American too. An Amazon wish list. They have an Amazon wish list. And I have people come on here and they're like, did you ask us to like pay you? Did you ask us to like send you money? Okay. Now, let me let you hear the one that's like shocking. Where's it at? I have that video where they're showing them. I got to find it. Give me 1 second. This is it.
Are you going to help us here? We got it all when we started coming. We were sitting ducks here, so we.
How many did you guys be able to?
Oh wait.
I think we got 5 or 6 out.
If you ask the super right there,
But they're not put together.
Oh, they're not put
They're
together.
not put together.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that was a good idea.
Right.
We're gonna bring them back out.
We're gonna bring them back out after.
Yeah.
Okay.
We might be back out in an hour.
Yeah.
I just they're marching from this. They're gonna start coming this
Yeah.
way.
I think that was a good idea after yesterday.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys.
Right on.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Where'd you get the American flag? Wait, where?
He's just adding to these out on the top.
It's like a random guy. Oh, all right. Thanks. Excuse me. I was looking for his flags. Where did you get this? Okay. Oh, are they just giving them out?
Yeah.
You notice how he had the flag upside down? Do you know what that means? It means insurrection. It means it's being overthrown in real time. Where do we have protests right now? We have protests everywhere, my friends. And we have ICE raids still going on, baby.
Holy shit! ICE just did a massive illegal alien raid in Omaha, Nebraska. And yes, before you ask, we voted for this.
That's a meat packaging plant. So you've got illegal aliens butchering and packaging meat in America. How safe is that? And that's how they feel. You saw him flip off the camera? They hate you. These people didn't come here for a better life. Boo-hoo. All the little liberals. And here's the biggest thing. The entire No Kings protest is being, of course, blended in and taken over by the Free Palestine people. It's all the same people.
Now can you understand me, you pedophile?
All you have to do is kids in cages. Your government kills children. That's what the IDF does. They just put kids in cages, moms, everything bad, bro. Not you. It's not you.
Is there a specific incident that they did that? Or IDF like child or something?
Every day, man.
So when you ask these people like to come up with an example, they never can. Somehow this protest became about Palestine, as it does. This is an anti-ICE protest. About 80% of the flags were Palestinian flags. They were all covering their face with the same keffiyeh, which is universally understood as just a hatred toward Jews. So I saw this guy that was yelling terrorist at the protesters. So I figured he would be an interesting person to talk to. So here's my conversation with him. It actually goes into who's going to be running for mayor in New York City. It's all very interesting, so enjoy.
Well, how are they? See what's going on in California? That's terrorist acts right there. They're attacking Jews. That's not right. Anti-Semitism is real here in New York. Yeah. And elected officials are doing nothing. They're actually there. Jerron Mondani is running for mayor.
Is he right here?
I don't know if he is. He'll probably show up.
Yeah.
But he calls for BDS. He supports BDS. That's anti-Semitic. Yeah. His father is calling for the state of Israel to not exist.
His father, Mondani's father?
Yes.
Okay.
Mahmoud Mondani. He's a professor in Columbia University.
And are you Jewish?
I am not. I'm Puerto Rican.
So tell me,
I'm an American citizen. I'm a native New Yorker. And the Jewish community is part of New York City.
Tell me why you feel
New York
about
City,
the Jewish community.
They're no different than any other community. You cannot attack people. You cannot attack them just because they're a certain background. You can't do that. It could be easily Puerto Ricans. It could be easily Jewish. You can't do that. I know plenty of Jewish people. They're fantastic people. It's disgusting. All this anti-Semitism. They say October 7th never happened. There's people that say the Holocaust never happened. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I see you got a Trump.
That's where we're at. The educated idiots of the world. October 7th didn't happen. I agree, Ronnie. He said this is why our right to bear arms should not be infringed upon, but they are. My husband went to get a weapon to upgrade around here because I have been physically threatened, even in my own community, for pointing out hypocrisy. Because what does the left do every time they disagree? You're part of the KKK. You just heard them chanting that to the police officers. So they're trying to get rid of my very good sheriff. The school board in my community in Louisiana is trying to overthrow the sheriff, and they're claiming he's KKK, so I'm pushing back against it, and they put a target on me. And guess what? My husband can't get a weapon, never had a criminal background, ever. So again, Starkey Farmstead is going to be Zooming Friday night. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about this in ways we can't talk about it here. If you would like to be part of that, to get the newsletter, to know what's actually happening in your country, as well as helping us continue to make videos until YouTube decides to pay us again, think of it as a super thanks or a super chat. Then I'm going to drop it in comments at the end of this, and you can join us and talk to me in real time. All right, so let me see. Oh, yeah. Did you guys hear Gavin Newsom? Oh, there are riots in every state right now. South Carolina, New Orleans, Michigan, Colorado, Washington State, Arizona, Florida, Texas.
Want our streets the fullest extent of the law. He again chose escalation. He chose more force. He chose theatrics over public safety. We honor their service. We honor their bravery. But we do not want our streets militarized by our own armed forces.
Newsom claims President Trump never called him when the protests broke out, but the president is bringing in the receipts, providing a screenshot to Fox News of a 16-minute phone call between him and Newsom on Saturday. And President Trump is not backing down on his efforts to stop these violent riots. He issued a stark message to any protesters who burn an American flag. Listen.
These are animals, but they proudly carry the flags of other countries. But they don't carry the American flag. They only burn it. People that burn the American flag should go to jail for 1 year. That's what they should be doing. 1 year. And we'll see if we can get that done.
Major cities like Seattle and Chicago are also facing similar anti-ICE protests. And in New York City, police arrested more than 80 protesters. And with reports that these protests could continue to spread, Texas Governor Greg Abbott isn't taking any chances. He's deploying National Guard to San Antonio. Guys.
All right, Brooke Singleman live for us in Washington. Brooke, thank you. Let's bring in California gubernatorial candidate and Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco. Sheriff, good morning to you. As a member of law enforcement and someone who's running for...
Okay, so let me explain it to you again. These are organizers. They've been doing this for generations. I saw this hat in the Chicago riot. Look at that. National Lawyers Guild Legal Diversity. All right. I saw that hat. It caught my attention. So I went and looked them up. This is who they are. Founding, the NLG was established in 1937 as the first racially integrated bar association in the U.S. We have a precedent for inclusivity. We have an alliance with NLG that aims to unite people of color that represent their communities and to help them achieve their potential within the legal profession. This project provides resources and support for law students who are from marginalized backgrounds. They have a commitment to social justice that extends to racial justice, LGBTQ+, environmental justice, that directly impact marginalized communities. Folks, let me explain something to you. If you're into identity politics, I'm really fixing to piss you off, but you're just a regular American, you're going to understand when I tell you this. If we don't stop this now, if your children are white, they will not survive in the coming of what's fixing to happen. Black people, I'm not excluding you, but for the most part, Hispanics see you as marginalized, which should really piss you off. I have majority Black friends, go figure. They just laugh at me because they know I'm coming at it with a bat, bro. I'm like, why do y'all put up with this? She's like, they want to give it to us. We're going to take it. I'm like, I get that, but you're not marginalized. You're in America. You get free everything. The rest of us are sick of it. And they just laugh at me.
No, this ain't Mexico. It used to be Mexico, and now it's Phoenix, goddamn it. I bet you don't leave here and go to Mexico, mother. Think they can live in this country and then still be allegiance to another country. You love Mexico? Get the over there. Oh, say, can you see?
Let me one more time try to explain it to you. La Raza, to reconquer the United States, Chicano students and their families and their grandparents have been training up children to be militant. There are Chicano schools in Michigan, Texas, Arizona, California. I'm talking about grade schools. I'm talking about charter schools where they teach these children that this is really their land. And now those children are growing up, going to university with your pale white kids or your dark mocha kids, and they're telling your children that you stole this land, your own stolen land. Let me explain something to you. trying to say this as nice as I can because I am a Christian and I am a lady and I don't usually have a potty mouth. In fact, I really don't. But let me just say this for all the people who are too freaking ignorant to understand it. A settler is someone that comes to an area that has nothing. No organized religion, no organized government, no organized community, anything. Okay? A settler goes to an area that is unorganized and unsettled. And they bring community. They bring government. They bring a better life. Okay? That's what a settler is. An immigrant is someone that comes from a foreign land into a settled area. I am not an immigrant. My family was not an immigrant. My family were settlers. Now that we're understanding words, let's go a little further with it. An invader is a person that comes to a settled, sovereign area and attempts to take what somebody else has or has built and then make it their own, essentially changing the purpose of it in the beginning. Mexico has millions of acres of unsettled land. The Mexicans that are in America that want to take back everything that American citizens built and make it their own could easily go back to Mexico, to these unsettled areas, and build, but they won't. Why? Because they are invaders. And invaders don't want to build, they want to take. I just blew some of your minds, didn't I? You're welcome. I'm pretty good at just point blank saying it like it is. Europeans are settlers. 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, we traveled the world while all of these amazing cultures didn't even have boats. The indigenous peoples of this beautiful land that we call the United States were warlike people. Most of them were dead by the time the United States became a country. The truth hurts. Where do you think scalping came from? Do you think Europeans came to America and just thought up this new amazing way to kill people? No, they learned it from the Native Americans, who regularly took each other as slaves and scalped each other. Mm-hmm. These same white settlers went to Africa to trade. And when they got there, they found Black people in cages on the shore. They didn't even go into Africa. Why? Because they were all dying from malaria, because we Europeans didn't have a natural immunity to malaria. So they couldn't go in and scoop you up. So your ancestors, Black people, scooped up the weakest, the people that owed money and the people that couldn't carry their weight. They brought you to the shore, put you in a cage, and told the Europeans, both Spanish, Portuguese, the Dutch, really not even American, okay? Not even really Americans, and said, hey, I'll trade you for this. And they traded you like cattle. And it was wrong. And you know why it was wrong? Because God says, but God does say that there'll be slaves and freedmen all throughout history. And is he wrong? It's been going on since time began. So after about 150 years of slaves on not even American soil, in North America, Americans decided we didn't like it. So the white man that you hate fought each other, killing hundreds of thousands of each other to free you. You're welcome. There's your reparations. That's my reparation to you. Yeah, I'm not believing that life goes on. You can try that somewhere else. And all you invaders on U.S. soil, I pray you continue. Please burn, burn, burn. Riot, riot, riot. In fact, why don't you stop playing cosplay revolution, dude, and get out the big ones? You know, y'all been waiting for this. Really get violent with it. So I can sit back, cross my ankles, and watch my president wipe you out of this country. So please, June 14th, burn, burn, burn. All you millions of undocumented immigrants, please, for the love of God, walk out, be filmed, be recorded, commit some crimes. And the rest of us will be Zooming on June 13th here at Starkey Farmstead. If you are not a newsletter recipient, it is $30 once for 6 months of newsletters and Zoom links. We're going to have regional group leaders. We're going to have state leaders. We're going to group you guys up so that you have a support system in your state. Just like all these people are connected, we're going to begin to connect patriots and American citizens together. If you're a legal immigrant and you want to join, do it, please, God. If you're Black, you want to join, please, God, you're American. If you're here the right way, you're American. It doesn't matter what you look like. But this identity politics, when you're on my channel, we don't play that. Because guess what? I have Bantu blood in me. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I have Bantu in me. I have Roma. In other words, I'm part Gypsy. Y'all should have knew that with my sassiness. If you ever watch my father, Papa Sammy and Allie Bug on YouTube, you can tell that my father has Black in him. You can tell that my father has Gypsy in him. Do I identify as that? No, I identify as American. Thank you very much. I have 2 sons serving in the military. I am a military mother first. I have taught the Constitution to children for years. Your bastardization of what the Constitution is about is really wrong. To make these undocumented as they prefer, you broke a law. It is a misdemeanor felony charge to come into America illegally, even though they handle it in the civil court, because we can't put them through the criminal. It's flooded with American citizens. I mean, are you kidding me? So I love you guys so much. Please sign up for the newsletter. I'm going to get off right now. I'm going to go into comments and I'm going to write and put it in the comment how you sign up for the newsletter. Okay? Make sure you put your email in the memo. I love you. Do not counter protest on the streets. Do not counter protest. Stay off the street. We're counter protesting like this, by speaking truth into the universe, by sharing this video, we know, okay, that we're not a racist, bigoted, fascist country. We know we're not. If you're illegal and undocumented, you do not belong in my country. Okay? If you're on a visa, whether it be a student or a work visa, and you act like a fool, you too do not belong in my country. All of you Mexican Americans that were basically just given your citizenship, it can be taken back with a stroke of a pen. Dear Heavenly Father, we pray over our country right now, Lord. We pray that by the blood of Jesus, we will be united as a front. Lord, you gave us boundaries, you gave us nations, and you gave us different tongues for a purpose. Lord, white people, black people have traveled the country spreading your gospel. Right now, Father, I pray that identity politics would be destroyed. Right now, I pray that you would send 1 million angels to defend this amazing country that you gave to our forefathers. Father, anybody that speaks their hatred, that their tongue will be tied, that their feet will be tripped, and the ones that are digging a hole for the innocent would fall in it. In the name of Jesus, amen. You got the right one, because Sam will spin it back towards you, my friends. I love you guys so much. Be blessed. God bless America.